Hey, Helen here, your host. Great to have you along for the second season of The Beautiful Side of Grief, where we continue to hear from people from all walks of life who have faced or have been involved with heart-wrenching loss and who have come out the other side with so many positives to share with others. I know this may seem like an impossibility for you right here, right now, to be in that space. And believe me, I understand. I lost my own gorgeous 18-year-old daughter and only child in a car accident. Yet, here I am 4 years later, sharing my own journey and those of others in the most heartwarming and joyful way. Each and every one of my guests share their own beautiful insights and their strategies for getting through their grief. And through these stories, I hope you'll find your own way to deal with your grief in whatever form that may take. I'll pop my guest links and any free resources in the episode notes, along with my website address if you'd like to know more about the energy work I do, as that was my lifesaver in my own grief journey. Don't forget to subscribe and like so you can keep informed of each weekly episode. So now let's see who our guest is this week. My guest today is Monique Turner. She's a keynote speaker, an author, and a youth advocate who works with organizations, individuals, and families to transform their lives. With her mantra, never personal, always purpose, Monique is on a mission to help others overcome challenging moments so that they may find fulfillment and, above all, success. Early in her journey, Monique experienced some of life's hardest struggles: the death of both her mother and father, her grandmother, her great-grandmother, who were her biggest supporters, and then her aunt, who had become her guardian. And this all before the age of 23. This domino of tragedies left her unprotected on the streets of San Francisco, California, learning to defend for herself. By 25, she would later find herself facing a 5-year federal prison sentence, forcing her to leave her 7-year-old son behind. Monique had an important decision to make. At this crossroad, she asked herself, is this the life meant for me? Her answer was a resounding no. Using her time wisely, she turned her entire life around. And while doing so, she learned the skills needed to write her own motion and expunge her criminal record. Today, Monique seeks to transform and uplift the voices of the underserved and unheard. She has helped over an incredible 15,000 at-risk youth and formerly incarcerated individuals reclaim their lives and discover their true purpose. So my thanks to you today for taking the time to listen to this extraordinary story. I hope you are left inspired to transform your own journey to overcome whatever may be holding you back. So now just relax back as we hand it over to Monique to share her challenging story. So Monique, so wonderful to have you with me today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on, Helen.
Oh, you're welcome. I think the privilege is all mine. So let's start with you describing what your early years were like before you lost those closest to you.
Okay, so as you mentioned, I grew up in San Francisco. So I grew up in the San Francisco Valencia Gardens, to be exact, which was housing projects. So I grew up in the housing projects, it wasn't poverty, but it's kind of like a poverty type of environment, So I'm going to just give you a quick time re-engineer of my life. So by the time 5 years old, I was by a couple of uncles, I like to say, sitting on their laps, going from point A to point B. By the age of, 10 years old, I was selling drugs because that was what's happening in my community. So I was 10 years old selling drugs. At 15 years old, I caught my first drug case. At 16, in juvenile for a few days. At 18, I got pregnant with my son. I graduated high school at 17, though. At 18, I was pregnant with my son. At 19, I gave birth. At 23, I lost my dad, I'm sorry. 23, I lost my dad. 24, I lost my mom. And at 25, I was serving 5 years in federal prison.
Oh, my goodness. So right from the get-go, you were almost like being programmed to have this pathway for your life that was not going to go in a very good direction for you. I mean, I just can't even begin. Any one of those things on their own would have been enough to handle. The fact that you had so many bang, 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 bang. Jeepers, I don't know how you are sitting here in front of me, talking to me because, wow. So let's find out.
Glory to God.
So you were at 23, right? When you had your first loss, and then in relatively quick succession, 4 other losses of very key pivotal figures to you. So this must have surely left you wondering what the heck was going on. And did you have so many whys? Like, why me? Why is this happening? Or yeah, you did? Because, even in those tough conditions where you're probably used to hearing about loss, that is still a huge number to come to terms with. So what were the toughest things for you to navigate as you lost one after another after another?
Life was hard to navigate. Just being able to focus, being able to, what would I like to say? Like to be able to feel like I know my why. I have a why, right? Of being here on earth. Feeling like, you know what, God, there is no God. That was my feeling. God who? I don't know God, and God don't know me. They say God loves you. Where was the love for Monique? Right? With Monique having to endure so many things at a very young age, for Monique to have to now figure it out and be on my own. Even though, yes, by the law, I was grown. I'm 23, but still, I had a child of my own that now I had to raise out the help of my parents. It was definitely very, very hard. But, there is a God. And really, like I like to tell people, is the battle is in the mind, right? This is the biggest battle that we have. And when we get control over the battle in our mind, then we get control over our life.
So did you always have that within you, even from a very, very young age? Did you have a voice right from an early age? Or because it's not everybody that can survive what you've been through. And I want to know what it was within you from what age that really made you want to just keep going and fight back.
Well, I believe I've always been a fighter, fight back. I've always leader. I believe that I am a natural born leader through it's just what God has wanted me to do. This is why at 10 years old, I was selling drugs. It wasn't the right thing to do, but it's the leadership that was in me. I've always, even when I was a little kid, I would always play school or be the teacher, be the principal. Every time we played sport games, I wanted to be the captain, right? So that leadership role was always inside of me. It was just when I was young and the type of environment that I was in, I was using my leadership in the wrong way. Right.
Which is what so many people do because they don't know any different until they've been exposed to a different way of living or face those incredibly life-changing decisions that they have to make. So how did you think, well, like you got to that point where you were facing that, potentially facing that prison sentence. So what was it inside of you that flicked that switch that made you say, okay, right, no more. There's got to be another way of living?
Well, you know what? That was for once I came home from prison, I still broke the law. Again, when we're in prison, we like to say, oh, I'm not going to never do this anymore. I'm not going to never do that anymore. But the reality is that's the only reality is what you were doing before you went to prison. And when we come home, things are laid out with a perfect vote for us, right? And so I did still break the law. I did land myself back in the halfway house. And while I was in the halfway house serving this violation, I was so discouraged and so upset with myself for putting myself and my son back in this situation like this. And so I was just devastated. And I knew that, I had began a relationship with God. So I never had a relationship with God. So like 3 months before I came home from prison, I began to have Bible study with one of my friends. And so I began to build this one-on-one, not through church or nothing like that, really one-on-one, me and God. And so now I had a sense of faith, right? A sense of hope outside of my normal self. And outside of the anger and the grief that I was struggling with. So while I was in the halfway house, I got a vision. That was really the vision. And the vision was God telling me, Monique, start a nonprofit organization. This is your purpose. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, this is it. Because I knew that this could be my purpose because like I said, when I was a kid, I liked to play school. I liked to be the captain. So I loved to do activities with kids when I was a kid, even as being a young adult, right? I would volunteer at Boys and Girls Clubs. I would always be the coach to my kids' basketball teams and stuff like that. So it only made sense that this was it. And so it took 3 years, though, of me, the battle in the mind and forth with myself. A lot of people telling me no, 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 because of my background and things like that. But I made a decision to beat the battle in the mind and really focus on what I believe to be my purpose instead of focusing on money.
Oh, that is so, so key. Two things out of there that really, really strike me is one, that sense of hope that you had. And I think for anyone to go forward in their life, there always has to be a glimmer of hope somewhere in the equation. And, maybe for you initially, it was the hope of getting back to your son. That kept you going, but then that hope that you could see a bigger picture to your life. And that in itself is incredible. And the second thing that really strikes me is, that you had this pivotal moment where, you had this visitation or this, this vision of forming a nonprofit organization. What would you say to people that say, oh, wow, there you go. You're lucky. You had that. I haven't had that. What would you say to those people?
Well, I would just say you do have it. We all have a gift. Everybody has a gift, right? It is up to us. We have the master key. Are we going to unlock it? Nobody can unlock that gift but us. Now, other people can see the gift inside of us, right? Like you have people that say, oh, you're so good at writing. You're so good at drawing and you're so good at speaking, right? Those things that you are really, really good at. Those things that you really, really enjoy doing. Even like if money was not an option for you today, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
What are the things that you were most passionate about when you were a kid that you just enjoyed doing then and you still enjoy doing today when on your free time, when you're on the weekends or when, like I said, when money is not a thought in your mind, these are the things that you're doing. That's what you want to pursue. Those are the things that are aligned with your purpose. Okay. And when you align yourself with your passions, you align yourself with your purpose. And when you do that, you begin to get to a place where instead of chasing money, the money will chase you.
Gosh, it's taken me until my 50s to realize that. And it took me the loss of my beautiful girl. It takes something pivotal to make you make that decision to say, no more. I'm not going to live my life like this anymore. And for me, I was very much a perfectionist, a yes person, doing everything for everybody else, just ignoring what I really wanted to do for myself. I'd listen to other people way too much. Their opinions outweighed my opinions. And when I lost my towel, I just decided, okay, that's it. The worst possible thing has happened to me. So I don't care what anybody else thinks from this point going forward. I mean, not that I don't care, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Because you got to get to a place. Listen, like I like to say, people, okay, opinions, excuse my language, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. And you can't get caught up on other people's opinion of you because then it will have you stuck. Because instead of following your gifts and your talents and your passions, you're so busy worried about what somebody else thinks. No,
Yeah.
no.
And, and that's where I found my passion. Like I've been guided to doing energy healing and, I just love that. That's helping people unload their baggage. And that's what I want to talk to you about because you've had a life where you've probably had loads of, like anger, resentment, bitterness. Why was I dealt this hand? All those sorts of emotions. And you were probably carrying them around for quite a few years. So I know you had developed and found this relationship with God, but how did you then start to, flick the switch again and put those negative emotions where they belonged in the background and not carry them around anymore? Because Loads of people don't know how to do that. Those are their go-tos. They want to blame somebody else for their circumstances. They want to be angry at the world that they've been dealt this lot. They have so many emotions around that. How do you turn it from a negative into a positive?
Well, you know what? One of the things that I like to say is you do the catch and the switch, right? So catch that negative thought and switch that with something positive. Again, like I just said, right? The mind is the battle. So either you are going to allow your mind to continue to control you, or you are going to get control over your mind. It's so easy to have negative thoughts. It's so easy to think negative about ourselves or negative about other people, negative about our circumstances. That energy can just weigh you all the way down, right? So instead, just think about this. If you spend as much time focusing on things that are positive and things that you can change in your life, instead of focusing on all the things that you can't change and all the things that have happened to you, imagine where your life can be a month from now, right? And so just think about the last 30 days of your life. You've been stuck in this same situation, the same job, the same income coming in. You haven't made a dollar extra, but you've made a dollar less, right? How do you change that narrative? Well, you change by changing the way that you're thinking about things. And then you change that by the action that you begin to take, right? Everything does not need to, let me say this. We don't have to take every negative thought and put action behind that. We need to take every positive thought and put some action behind that, right? So it's the catch and switch. Catch that negative thought and switch it with something positive.
Ah, so good. That's so, so powerful. Yet a lot of people, do you find, don't even have an awareness that they are these really negative people that are putting out negative energy. And so that's what they're attracting back. They don't actually have that awareness to catch themselves doing that. So I guess like I've learned again late in life that you have to accept people for where they are at their level of awareness and no judgment. People only know what they know, and they only know how to do better when they have that understanding. So is that what you would say? Or because you can have some people, I guess, that you talk to where you can see the light bulb going off just like that.
Right.
But then you have other people that are just looking at you going, oh yeah, I've heard this story before. Just get your life sorted. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because again, right, the mind is the battle. So if your mind is not in a place to receive something positive, your mind is not in a place for you to be able to finally look outside of your current situation and how you can actually grow, then you're going to stay stuck, right? And so, yes, you have to be willing to meet people right where they're at. This is something that, you know what, I have learned a lot during this pandemic as being a team leader, which is, you know what, everybody doesn't think the way I think. Everybody is not going to do what I want them to do. Right. But just because of that doesn't mean that I can't continue to engage with them. Right. I need to engage with them according to who they are. Right. And through that, it allows not only for us to maintain our peace, but now it allows the other person to see their genius, right? So now instead of them just feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough, oh, I'm just average, oh, I can't do that. No, now they're able to see their genius, right? And really be able to step inside of that, because now instead of being judged by you, now they see that you see them, right? And so now they see themselves.
Yeah, and it's changing that record of limiting beliefs to one that they, like you say, they do see themselves. Mm-hmm. For once in their life, there's something that they've heard, somebody who's made an impact on them, where they can say, yeah, I am somebody. I do deserve to be here. I do deserve to have my voice listened to. And this is what I want to move into now, because you work a lot with incarcerated youth. And, we know you make silly decisions, that can have life-changing consequences. And I love that you're going back and helping some of these souls that have probably just got off the right path or off the path they're meant to be on, find themselves again. How difficult is that? Are they quite receptive to hearing your messages and wanting to have a different future?
Well, it's all every student is different, but I will say from the way that we actually build relationships with our students, yes, they are very receptive of what we do, the workshops that we provide, the group and the one-on-one sessions that we offer, because they know that, you know what, I've been there too. So instead of them feeling judged or them feeling like, she don't understand me, they're like, oh no, she get it. She understands me. I understand, she can relate to me. And that's so important when working with our students. They need somebody that can understand them. They need somebody that they can relate to. They need someone that they can connect with, right? Because if you don't build a connection, then you're not going to get the change that we need. And so our organization, we're not just for formerly incarcerated individuals. I actually like to do a lot of prevention work, which is
Yes.
our students before they get to a place where they're incarcerated, right? So we have I like to use our I Am Her, our Girls Empowerment Day. Now, this is so powerful because we go to schools nationwide, all around the world. So anybody, anywhere that would like to bring one of our I Am Her Girls Empowerment Days, we cover emotional intelligence, social media, how you said awareness. We bring self-awareness, social awareness, right? So our students are able to see themselves. We teach them how to manage their emotions, how to manage their reactions. We teach them about self-love, self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, right? So they're learning all of these different tools and strategies, and they're doing it not from me telling them, but by engagement with each other. So we do a lot of skits, a lot of improv, and it's just so amazing. And there's no other organization like ours. There's no I Am Her Empowerment Day like ours. I'm going to give you a link that that your listeners can click on so that they can see one of our I Am Her Girls Empowerment Days in action and actually hear from our students. I know that this is needed because what we're doing is we are addressing the social emotional barriers that our students are facing through the lens of emotional intelligence. And we know right now, the social emotional barriers are at an all-time high, especially just not only have we been out of school for over a year, so imagine all of the issues that our students are dealing with that alone. So this is needed right now in schools all around the world. And so we've been getting schools right now to come implement our girls empowerment. So I'm really excited about it because it's needed, it's amazing, and it's so engaging that it's just life changing. And the impact that it has is it's priceless.
Yeah, I get that. Like get them when they're young, just give them a different way of looking at life. And that's so pivotal. I mean, I did for many years a program where we were doing a screen for 4-year-olds so that they would be ready for school in the best possible way at 5. And that included things like speech and hearing or all those physical things, but also we teased out whether they were going through struggles, even at 4 years old, emotionally, and that were going to impact on them engaging in school. And, God, talk about rewarding, like just to know that, because we have some longitudinal studies done here that said 60% of our males incarcerated track back to having a hearing problem when they were 3, 4, 5 years old. Hearing, yeah. So hearing leads to speech impediments or speech problems, not being able to communicate, what that's like. Can't communicate well. People make fun of you. You start to disengage or become the clown. And so then it sets you on a path of, okay, you're just going to give up. And a lot of them would leave school early. And then, of course, they had no way of getting an income except by perhaps, going outside of breaking the law to do that. And so they'd end up in prison. And for me, just doing that was so, so rewarding. Just to know that maybe, there were some littlies there that you've changed their life path forever. So I get what you're doing and I get the messages that you're putting out to these girls. I actually saw in one of your videos that you get the girls to stand and then they have a piece of paper on their back and other people write what they like about that person.
Yeah, that's one of our exercises.
Yeah, such a simple exercise, but that in itself
But
can be life changing.
yeah. That is one of our exercises that we use after we do our graffiti wall, which is our students get up there and they are writing down everything that everybody has ever called them. And the names that these young women are called from parents and siblings and teachers and strangers. It's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. And the graffiti wall that we do, it's proof. It shows it, right? They've been called a giraffe, stupid, a tramp, slut. Just, oh goodness. It just breaks my heart. And so we do a couple of different exercises that then leads up to the paper on the back, which is just once afterwards. And I ask them, how do they feel? And they're just like, I feel good. I feel happy. I feel relieved. I feel amazing. I didn't know that other people thought this of me. So in the video that I'm going to send you, you'll see that that's exactly what some of the girls are saying.
I look forward to sharing that link with people because it doesn't matter what age you are, you still need to hear this basic stuff, the stuff that can help you heal the hurt that you feel. And when a lot of work that I'm doing with emotional energy and that it's about ancestral trauma, which they're proving now, there's a lot of evidence out there about the ancestral trauma that's coming through our DNA into generation after generation. And I think we need to be doing a lot of healing on that level. So, what you're doing is going a long way to sort of getting people in a right mindset to start having that awareness, start having that positivity, start having that self-belief to address that. So, oh my, Monique, I keep just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So tell me how old is your son now and what impact has the work that you're doing now had on him?
Well, he's 24 years old now, and he loves the work that I do. Actually, for many years, through his teenage years, and so he actually did the same work. He was working for a nonprofit organization in our community, giving back to the kids and things like that. So I'm confident that our purpose is aligned, and so I'm really proud of him. He's an amazing man. He's an amazing big brother, amazing son. And I just couldn't be more proud of him and the things that he does and the way that he gives back and loves his family is super amazing.
Oh, that's so great to hear. And I think because that's what we also need to recognize is that we act as mirrors, don't we, for our kids. So when they see us, even if we get it wrong, if they see us trying to do the right thing, that's more important than anything else. Let's talk to people about volunteering, giving themselves to other in service, because I have learned over the past few years the power of that alone. When we actually stop chasing that money, stop chasing that expectation of what we think we need to be, and just following our passion. Because I think more people, once they start giving of themselves to others and knowing the beauty and the value they get back in and giving of themselves, it starts to transform their whole life.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that, volunteering, what it does is it allows you to be able to see the things that you are passionate about because you're volunteering. So you're doing it without any money. So I would say, yeah, you know what? If you are unclear on exactly what your purpose might be, then why don't you try volunteering for a couple of different nonprofit organizations that is out there that you feel is a lot, that you like their mission, you like the work that they're doing, and see if that sparks something inside of you that, now gives you a direction to do something different. I know for me, volunteering has been life changing. I volunteer now, even though I have a nonprofit organization. I'm always giving back and doing more than what is required of me. Okay. Just like even right now, right? As soon as this podcast is over, I'm on my way to one of my schools. Even though I have an employee that's there at the school, I don't have to go. I'm going to go because I'm passionate about serving these students. I'm passionate I'm passionate about showing up for them, right? And letting them know that I care, let them know that I am here. So it's just, you know what? It's a feeling that is a joy and that just, you know what? It's just overwhelming. It's a priceless feeling. I can't even describe the feeling because it's just so magical. The feeling that you feel when you know that you are making a difference in somebody's life and a positive difference at that, right? When you are changing somebody's life from being like for me, when my students, I get some of them and they have a 0.50 GPA, but then they get to the point where they're graduating school. Like I'm excited and I know that I have done my job. And you know what? I have made an impact in this school, in this child's life, which is a reward that no dollar amount can equal.
Ah, 100% agree with you there. And it's all about that empowerment and that, but there are probably thousands upon thousands of people. You'll never know how you've impacted their life with your message, which is the cool thing as well, that you're just giving it because you know it's the right thing to be doing. And it's the thing that gives you the energy to wake up every morning and leap out of your bed with positivity and excitement for the day ahead and what's ahead. So yeah, I love that. Hey, it's been your mission and purpose to share your story. And who now do you consider the audiences that you most need to be reading? Is it the youth? Is it that preventative side? Who are you trying to reach and why?
Yeah, so for me, it's the youth. I love the youth. That's who I serve is the youth. But I also have a consulting business, right? Which is never personal, always purpose. So that is my consultant business. That is for adults. And the only service I provide in that consulting business is helping people terminate their probation early. Okay. And that's helping them write the motion to get their probation terminated early. But I have a lot of digital products that is available to people that want to do a lot of different things, want to learn how to write a book, how to build your business credit, how to set up your business credit entity. So I have a lot of things that's digital for adults. Now, when it comes to the youth, I like to work with my students hands-on. I like to provide them with programs that they are able to see themselves in. I like to also, we provide one-on-one work with a lot of our students. So we meet our students right where they're at and we give them exactly what they need so that way they're able to be successful at achieving the level that they're on and at achieving the next level that's to come. Okay. And so my students are my why. The students are what took me out of the old mindset that I had, which was breaking the law, to getting to a place where I am comfortable, I am free, and that I feel good at serving them, even when I didn't have any money.
Wow, great. So who are you just confined to the California area now, or are there other people hearing about your message and saying, we want Monique, we want her, we need her people in our area, we need her talking to our youth, we need her talking to, everyone?
Right. Yeah. So no, I'm not confined to California. Again, I am available nationwide to come in and be your keynote speaker, to come in and host an assembly at one of your schools, to host my I Am Her Girls Empowerment Day, which that can be hosted with every girl in the school. Where you want me to do it with 60 girls or 50 girls. There's so many different ways that our program has been tailored. And I've done this so that I'm like how, the law, no child left behind, right? It's me. I don't want to leave no child behind. So I want to be able to serve all students K through 12. And I'm able to do that through the different styles of our empowerment day, as well as just coming in to be a keynote speaker for the day. And it doesn't have to be about prison, right? I could be your keynote for the day on emotional intelligence, on how to address your social emotional barriers, how to social media etiquette, how to use social media in a positive way. All these different things are things that we offer in our Girls Empowerment Day. So no, anybody that would like to book Monique Turner to come to your school or your organization or your prison, then yes, I am available to come be the keynote speaker or to come run a workshop or a training around emotional intelligence.
Okay, so If there's somebody here that's listened to this and they're really inspired and they're following their passion and they want to do something similar, let's be realistic about how long this can take, because they see you and they say, wow, she's doing incredible. But when they start out, it's slow. They haven't got the numbers, they haven't got the contacts, they haven't got the setup. Let's be realistic about how long that can take for somebody.
Well, for me, it took 3 years for me to get my actual first break. And that wasn't even a paid gig, right? After 3 years, I started off volunteering in a school for 6 months before I actually received a contract. So you definitely have to trust the process. And this is why you have to be in it to be in it, right? You have to be passionate about it. You can't be in it for the money. This isn't about the money. You need to make sure that you keep that job that you have a side hustle, something going as you are pursuing this new journey of yours, because otherwise, then you're going to get stuck and frustrated along the way, right? And another thing to do is remember that no means a new opportunity somewhere. So don't get stuck when people are telling you no. Okay. They tell you no today. That's okay, because somebody else is going to tell you yes. Remember that. But if you get stuck with that no, then you're not going to be focused to go get that yes.
That's a great message. I know of so many people, even I get sucked into it sometimes thinking, oh, I've got to have this many listeners and I've got to have this many likes or shares or things like that. No, actually, what I need to be doing is speaking to people like you, hearing your message, because, that may be the message that resonates with our listeners on that particular day that they're listening. And that's what it's about, doing what you love to do. Because, the energy I get from doing this every single time I talk to somebody is, gosh, just worth all the hard slog behind the scenes and, the late nights, the early mornings, things like that. So let's wrap it up now. And I want to know, what's the best thing that's happened to you either today or this week?
Okay. So the thing that has happened to me this week is that we received our highest contract in one of our schools. So we just got a contract to be in a school 5 days a week. So I'm super excited about that, because again, our program is a school-based program. We are not an after-school program. And so I'm just excited to be able to now go into this middle school, set up this wellness center, and now provide the students with this safe space to be able to come and reflect on any of the social emotional barriers that they are facing. And we do that through the lens of emotional intelligence. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited to finally, be here with you on this podcast and to be able to get what we do out there to some new listeners, to some new people. Hopefully we have some educators or some people that are on probation or something hearing this today, or some parents. I know there's plenty of parents, right, that, decide to say, hey, let me look into her a little bit more to see if she'll be a good fit to come to our school.
Yeah.
And then just share the contact. If there's anybody watching, just send me an email, and you can send me an email. Let me know even if you're not an educator, send me an email. Let me know what school do you have in mind that will be good for me to reach out to. Right. I appreciate that. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that contract. That is so heartwarming. I mean, that just really just must blow it through the roof for you. So well done. Hey, so when you have a really tough day, or a day that's turning to custard, what's your go-to to get yourself, away from that thought, away from that energy, into positive again? I know you're going to say it's all in the mind.
It is. It is. But something I like to do is a meditation. And so I will just, go to a quiet space where I'm able to now get in tune with my thoughts, right? We have to get in tune in our own private thoughts. And I do that with the mindset of that it's never personal. So no matter what's going on right now in my life or with who, I'm not taking that personal as I think about this, but there's always a purpose. Even though I might not understand what that purpose is, knowing that allows me to switch my mind from that negative mindset to a positive mindset, right? And so instead of me being imprisoned in my mind with all these negative thoughts, now I'm allowing myself to be free and have the freedom mindset. And so it's really good just to Do what works for you when you're able to allow those thoughts to calm down. So the beach, music, meditating, going out and putting my feet in the dirt and grounding with the universe. That's also one of the things that I love to do, and just be in my thoughts with me and the universe. And it's just super powerful because I believe that helps, just like makes me have a feeling of like woosah.
Yeah, I love that. And we have to remember is it's not personal. You have to have the negatives to appreciate the positives. You have to have the lows to appreciate the highs. And that's often what these situations are all about. It's just learning to deal with them. What are your 3 takeaways that you would like to leave our listeners with today?
So 3 takeaways. I would like for the listeners to, one, if you are somebody that is on probation, I would like for you to Google and see, every state is different, but see in your state, is it possible to apply for early termination? If it is, I have a questionnaire. That link will be there. Fill out that questionnaire so you can see if you are a good fit to terminate your probation early. You do not need to stay on probation one day longer than you need to be. Okay. It is time to make the change. Number 2, if you are currently keep hitting a no, remember, no is a new opportunity somewhere. So don't get stuck in the no. And number 3, I want to tell you guys this. You can be it, do it, live it every day. Okay, so think about that. You're going to be it, you got to do it, and then you got to live it every day. You have to be about action, right? Not just talking about it, but be about action. Embrace the struggle. Hey, we got to embrace. Everyone's going to be there, but let's embrace it. No, we're not criticizing somebody else. No outside distraction. Don't just dream about it, but have your eye on the intention of exactly what you want to do. And don't let your insecurity stop you. Stay focused and remember, survive that struggle. And then you will be strengthened by that. Okay. When you survive the struggle, you will be strengthened by the surviving that struggle, which will then allow you to be able to know that you are more than capable at achieving all the things that you put your mind to.
Okay, if you're listening to this today, oh my goodness, take those takeaways and just run with them because they are right on point. And Monique, your passion comes through with everything you say. And, I just want to thank you. Thank you for jumping on today, sharing your time, especially because I know you need to be somewhere else. And, that makes me even more grateful for showing up today and doing this for others so that we can also hear what's working for you, what's working for others, and how we can all move ahead. So, yeah, heartfelt thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that too. And then just so if anybody would like to reach me, you can reach me at Instagram, and I'll send these links. I'll have my VA send you these links. Okay.
I've got all your links. Yeah. So we're going to include them in the episode notes, but, go ahead and just let people know what they are.
Okay. So I am also a self-published author. So what I would like to say is I love giveaways, everyone. Okay. And so I would like to give away 5 books. So for the 5 people that send me an email, you are going to get a book. 5 first people, I should say. Okay. The 5 first people. And this book is my latest book, which is Purpose Over Prison. Okay.
Wow.
And not only am I in this book, I interviewed 5 other people in their journey on how they were able to choose purpose over prison. Okay. So 5 people will get that book. You can email me at info@neverpersonalalwayspurpose.com. Now, Instagram, you can also DM me if you didn't want to send the email. Whoever does it first will get it. Monique Turner TV is Instagram. I also have an Instagram that is Purpose Over Prison. Okay. So Purpose Over Prison, Instagram. If you like to go to YouTube, check out more YouTube videos. And I have a lot of videos on 3 ways how to manage your emotions, how to remove the imposter syndrome, and so much more. That's Monique Turner, MPAP, because it's never personal, it's always purpose. All right. And then LinkedIn, I'm also Monique Turner. Okay. So if you want to contact me, already bring a girl empowerment day to your school, or if you are a parent that is struggling with a teenager or a young child and you just don't know how to deal with some of the issues that they may be struggling with, you just feel like, you know what, I've done everything that I can do. Please reach out to me so I can try to give you some different tools and strategies that you'll be able to use so that we can bridge the gap. That's my biggest thing. That's my gift from God. It's helping people bridge the gap in the relationships that are in their life. All right. And so I want to be able to help you do that. And I would say this too. If I have 5 people that want to reach out to me, I will give them, that's on probation. Not only will I do the questionnaire, but I will give you my master class for free. Okay. So I will give you master class, and it gives you the 10 steps that you need to take to terminate your probation early on your own. All right. So there you have it, you guys. All right. All you got to do is reach out.
Oh my gosh, Monique, more goodness in that. Those are amazing offers. And thank you so much, for sharing those, for sharing your contacts, for giving people hope all over, because I know I'm on the other side of the world, but it doesn't matter. It's universal. It's global.
Right.
This information is good for everyone. What you're teaching, it, goes across everything. So yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I look forward to connecting with you again and following what you're doing, because you are exciting.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode today, be sure to share it with others. Hit the subscribe or like button so you can be notified of each weekly episode. Also, let me know how I'm doing, especially if there's more you'd like to know that perhaps we didn't get time to touch on today or in past episodes. And if you're after resources to help you out on this journey, or more about the energy healing work I do, hit the Healing to Be You link. That's the word healing, number 2, letter B, letter U.com. So until next time, be kind to you, and thank you for joining us on the beautiful side of grief.